Ann Ravel, welcome to Newsroom.
Thank you very much.
Well, the Fair Political Practices Commission, the FPPC, which you chair or have chaired, was created after Watergate. There was a lot of cynicism about politics. How do you feel the FPPC has made a difference under your tenure there to, enhance trust or faith in our political system?
The purpose of the FPPC was to enhance faith and trust. Clearly, a large percentage of Americans do not feel that trust in government. So we have made inroads, though. And I think we've provided much greater disclosure. We've shown the public that we will fight for disclosure before an election when it counts, when it makes a difference for them when they vote. We've tried to provide a lot more information online and in a way that is easily accessible to people so they know more about their government and about political activities.
And in fact, your tenure will probably be defined by $11 million contribution from an Arizona group. It was very secretly done, came just before the 2012 election. It was designed to help sink Prop 30, the governor's tax increase measure, and you went to court to try to force them to disclose the true source. What did you learn from that experience?
Well, the experience was very interesting because this group had given the money anonymously, and it was more money than had ever been spent by an outside group in a California campaign. So it took a lot of effort all the way to the California Supreme Court to find out that it had been funneled through a number of different 501c3 and c4 organizations outside of California. Under California law, if they're contributing to a campaign in California and they knowingly are giving money for political activity in California, then they do have to disclose.
Yeah. There were critics who said, what if that money had been in support of Prop 30, the governor's measure to increase taxes? Instead, it was meant to undermine it. Can you say with real honesty that the FPPC would have acted exactly the same way?
I don't think there's any question that we would have acted the same way. In that case, we were responding to a complaint that was made. It was prior to the election, so we have a policy now of getting information to the people when it counts before an election. We did probably 24 or 25 other cases that were not of the same magnitude, but also requiring disclosure before an election. And the only difference was those people complied and the Arizona group did not.
There is, of course, so much money in our politics today. And one way, some say, to fix that would be public financing, to just use tax dollars or some combination of tax money and contributions from private sources to fund our campaigns. And yet, time and again, voters reject that. It's just not popular with politicians.
Right.
Do you agree that that would be the best way to go?
I think some kinds of financing are reasonable. If you can encourage lots of donors to also give to candidates, and it's not just public financing on its own. My view is what's really left in political campaign is disclosure, and disclosure is what's important to provide.
As you go to the FEC in Washington, is that going to be one of your priorities, to improve disclosure?
There's no question. I mean, the purpose of the FEC, just as the purpose of the FPPC, is to provide information to the public, and disclosure about who's funding campaigns is essential. And while some people are backing off from disclosure, the United States Supreme Court and Citizens United supported disclosure as a very important aspect of campaign finance reform.
It upheld disclosure.
It did.
And yet the FEC has really done nothing to update those rules and regulations.
No, they have not.
Yeah. You are going from the FPPC in a state where Democrats are in control, and you, as chair of the FPPC, have been able to get things done in very little time. You're going to the FEC, which is sort of built to fail in a way. I mean, you have 3 Republican appointees and 3 Democratic appointees, automatic gridlock, potentially, and that has been the case. Why would you leave California for that kind of a situation?
Well, I think that it's true that the FEC has been known for gridlock, but there have been times when they have been able to achieve important inroads in campaign finance reform. I've had to interact with people of both parties. We have been able to achieve consensus, and I'm hoping that we're going to be able to do the same at the FEC.
Have you been preparing for this by watching House of Cards?
I think that may be a little extreme.
A little extreme.
Yes.
Yeah, but nonetheless, you're heading into the fire.
Yes, most definitely. And the FEC, after all, interacts with presidential campaigns and senatorial and congressional campaigns, so the stakes are really significant.
All right, Ann Ravel, chair or outgoing chair of the California Fair Political Practices Commission, soon to be a member of the FEC. Thanks for coming in and thanks for your work.
Thank you very much for your time.